guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lillian and today we are doing a little chit chat video. I am going to be talking about all things mental health. So this is gonna be, I don't want to make the video too serious, but then again, mental health is a serious topic. But I just thought I'd talk about it, my experience, and I asked on Instagram as well if anyone has any tips on how to improve your mental health. If you struggle with depression, anxiety, or any other mental health issues, what are some of the ways that you cope with it? And in general, if anyone had any questions surrounding mental health. And so I got a few responses, so I'm just gonna go through them. Okay, so let me start by telling you guys a little bit about my experience. So I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but the past few years I've been struggling a lot with depression and anxiety. Those were the main two things. It took me a while to figure out what was going on with me and what it was that I was actually feeling. So I've been struggling with anxiety for, I could say, maybe like 5 years, but I didn't know that it was anxiety. I think I don't want to say diagnosed because I never got diagnosed for it, but I only recognized the symptoms that it was anxiety maybe like 3 years ago when the pandemic started. That's when I found out what anxiety actually is and that I have anxiety. And depression, I also kind of fell into a depression a little bit during the pandemic. For me, it was very much a situational thing. I think I was just in a very toxic period of my life, and also the pandemic on top of that. It was a lot on everyone. I think everyone was struggling mentally when the pandemic happened. And this year for me, I was really struggling with my anxiety. When I was really going through it in terms of feeling depressed and things like that, it was, first of all, the start of the pandemic. I just moved back home after living on my own for 3 years. So I was back at my parents' house. I graduated. I was away from all my friends and I couldn't find a job. So I had no education, no work, no friends, no social life. And so I was in a really bad place in my relationship as well. And so it was just, all these things were weighing down so heavy on me that I was feeling so depressed. I just didn't have the motivation to do anything. I was feeling terrible. I was so miserable. I was sad, but I didn't know, like, I couldn't pinpoint the reason of why I was feeling like that. And so for me, feeling so depressed, it was really a situational thing. And it was very new to me because I've never felt that way before up until the pandemic. And it was just a very new feeling to me. But yeah, once I started working again, and then I started studying my master's again, and you know, just as life was picking back up again, I felt much better in terms of, you know, feeling depressed. But the anxiety was still there for me. And this year was actually really bad in terms of anxiety, to the point where when I feel really anxious, I cannot eat. I feel sick and nauseous the whole day, and it was just really affecting my appetite. I was losing weight, and it was just bad. And for the past year, the depressive thoughts and feelings came back again, and I was just going through it. I was really going through it this year. Without going into too much details, I was in a really toxic relationship and it was just taking a toll on my mental health. And so this year it was really bad, to the point where I decided to start therapy, and that was honestly the best decision that I could ever make. So I started therapy in July, and was it June or July this year? And I'm now taking a little break, but I'm gonna start it back up in January. And yeah, therapy was the best decision I've ever made. It has helped me so much, so much, and I would really recommend it to everyone. But yeah, so that's kind of my background, I guess you could say. Let me get into these Instagram questions. So there's only one question actually, and the other ones are all tips and advice on how to, deal with mental health issues. So let me start with the question. The question is how to not care about what others think about you. I don't want to say I've mastered this, but I do feel like I'm doing much better with that than I was a few years ago. And I think this also kind of comes with age a little bit. I think when I was younger, like 16, 17, I used to care so much about what others thought of me. First of all, not caring about what people think about you, in my eyes, it kind of is about strangers. So of course I care what my parents think about me, what my family, my close family and friends think about me. Anything than that, anyone outside my circle, I don't care what they think about me, because I've realized that we are not the main character in everyone's lives. If, let's say, I trip over and fall down in the middle of a street, in the middle of like a busy street, even if someone sees that and laughs, which makes me feel embarrassed, they probably forget about it like 5 minutes later. And so I think it's so important to put things in perspective and realize that people really don't care that much. And I know this is really dependent on your environment and, where you are, who you surround yourself with, and things like that. But life is really too short to care about what other people think. They do not pay your bills. Their opinion is not important, because let's say I have an outfit that I want to wear that, people in public might look at me weird, or they might not like it, or, even if it's your friend that doesn't like that outfit, who cares? As long as you like it, why does it matter what anyone else thinks? And I think that this is just something, again, like I said, I think it kind of comes natural the older you get, the more you realize that, first of all, people don't really care that much. And second of all, you shouldn't care about what others think, because they don't pay your bills, their opinion doesn't matter, and their opinion also doesn't make any difference in reality. So I guess I could say focus on yourself. Ask yourself, do I like this? Do I enjoy this? Do I agree with this? Am I staying true to myself? If the answer to these questions is yes, then keep doing you and just say F what everyone else thinks. Honestly, I don't know how to say that in a nice way, but it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, as long as you are doing you and you are liking the direction in which you're going. Amen, girl. Okay, so the other answers are just tips and advice. So the first one is, I would say get closer to God and write things you're grateful for. So this is a huge thing that has helped me. First of all, when I started struggling with my mental health, the one thing that really helped me get through these hard times is God and my faith. I think it is so important, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, Jewish, or whatever religion you follow, I think it is really important to have faith and hold on to your faith. And when you're feeling down, when you're feeling anxious, depressed, lost, hopeless, miserable, whatever it is that you're feeling, I think you should train yourself to be like, the first person I'm going to is God. Let me pray about it. Let me read my Bible, or, whatever holy book you read, and just go to your faith, because that has helped me so much through these past few years, and it has helped me get through these times. It has helped me love myself, see my worth, and see my value, because in those moments where you're at your lowest, you don't think anything good of yourself, you can open the Bible, find verses, and it will be a reminder of why you are worthy, why you are loved, and why you are chosen. So I think definitely get closer to God is a major thing. It's so important in life in general. Whether you are struggling with mental health or not, in your low points, but also your high points, always make sure to pray, to thank God. And that brings us to the next point that she brought up, right things you're grateful for. Gratitude is a must. Gratitude is key. We need to be thankful for everything. Count your blessings. That's what they say. Count your blessings. They say it for a reason. And when you're feeling low or when you're going through things, telling yourself to list things that you're grateful for, it really helps you to focus on the positive rather than the negative. And it's not a way of saying that your negative feelings are not valid. They are very valid, but it's just a way to distract yourself from the negative thoughts and just focus on the positive. So make sure to pray, to thank God for all the blessings. You know, I always tell myself, whatever I'm going through, I know that God is there. He has a plan for my life, and even though what I'm going through is really bad, there are people out there that have it worse. And again, I'm not saying that to myself as a way to invalidate my feelings. I'm just saying that to remind myself that I am still blessed. Despite my circumstances, I am still blessed. I have a roof above my head. I have food in my stomach. I have clothes to wear. I have a family. I have friends. I have a lot of things that people don't have in their lives. I'm not even talking about material things. I'm talking about the real blessings, you know, having a loving family, having real friends, having a relationship with God, you know, that in itself is a privilege. And so I think gratitude is so important. In this life, if you are not grateful for the things that you have, you will never get more. You will never get more. You need to be grateful for what you have first in order to go to the next level and in order to receive more blessings. Okay, so this person said walks in nature, gym, self-care days, and limiting social media is what helps her with her mental health. Walks in nature, I can definitely 100% agree with that. I think for me right now, I live in a city in the UK, in Birmingham, and because I live in the city center and there are not really any parks here, I felt super depressed because I grew up in, I wouldn't say a small town, but I grew up in a town with a lot of nature, and so I had easy access. I had a whole huge park behind my house when I grew up, and so I had a lake and, you know, walking through the forest and whatever, and I just missed having that nature. I don't even want to go for walks here because it's like I'm just walking on the street and it's not really doing much for my mental health, and I really miss having nature around me. So if you have nature around you, or, you know, just drive to a park and go for a walk there, I think being around nature is really important. I'm not sure why, it's just so healing. It really feels so healing and refreshing. Gym, again, I have to say I'm not the fit girl. I'm not a gym person yet. Hopefully that changes in 2023. But I do know of a lot of people. One of my best friends, she was struggling with a lot of mental health issues as well, and she was literally saying that gym helped her out of it. And just exercising, I think it's super important, and I think that's one thing that I really want to implement in my life in 2023. I know that it's such a basic like New Year's resolution, but I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna be that fit girl that goes to the gym like 5 times a week. I just want to incorporate exercising into my daily life, you know, even if it's going to the gym once a week. Self-care days are super important too. I think for me, I kind of take my Sundays as self-care days, either Saturdays or Sundays. I usually wash my hair, do a little face mask, and just try to calm down, not really do anything intensive throughout the day. Sometimes I clean a little bit, but even that, you don't need to clean, you know. It's a self-care day. Try to have a whole day for yourself. No chores that you have to do around the house, and just, you know, read a book, watch a movie, do some internal healing, you know, talk to yourself, sort out your thoughts and feelings, and just take a day off. Just focus on yourself for a day. And limiting social media, which is what she also suggested, that's one that I really struggle with. I think for me, first of all, because I work with social media, it's quite hard to take a break from social media, especially because you feel like you're missing out. You feel like if I'm not posting, people are gonna forget, and I'm trying to build a career out of this, you know? So it's like I cannot, if I take a break from social media, I feel like I'm taking a break from chasing my dreams, which it's actually quite toxic. Like, we should be able to take a break from social media whenever we want, but it's just that internal pressure. It's no pressure from anyone else but myself. But yeah, if you can, limiting social media is I would definitely recommend it. Okay, next one. I think I'm talking way too much. Next one is try not to suppress your emotions. It's okay to feel all the feelings. I definitely 100% agree with this. I think it is so important to really sit with your feelings and, you know, embrace them. Don't stop them. Don't suppress them. This is coming from someone who just went through a breakup 2 months ago now, and I think what has helped me, I don't know, I guess you could say move on so fast, is that I really allowed myself to sit with my feelings. I thought I'd be heartbroken and depressed and sad for like months, but because I really allowed myself to sit with my feelings, to really just, if I want to cry, I'll cry. If I want to, you know, sleep all day, I'll sleep all day. I just let myself go through the feelings and the emotions, and that had really helped me kind of move on and pick my life back up again so soon, I guess you could say. And I think sitting with your feelings, allowing yourself to feel the emotions, it is so important, because if you suppress your feelings, guaranteed they will come back. They will come back sooner or later. So if I would have suppressed my emotions and feelings during that breakup, I know right now I would be an emotional mess. But because I allowed myself to go through these emotions and feelings at that time, now I'm doing okay and I'm doing fine. And I think that people sometimes are scared to go through these emotions and feelings and maybe feel like it's not normal or anything, but it is normal. It is natural. Allow your body to go through it, because it will help you process things faster, and it won't catch up with you a few months later down the road. So definitely sit with your feelings, process them. Also, to add to that, one thing I started doing since that breakup, actually, I started journaling. So every night I write down in my journal just how I'm feeling that day, what I did that day. I don't know, just basically like a diary, basically. So mostly focusing on my thoughts and my feelings of that day, rather than, oh, I did this and this and this and this today, just listing my activities, but more of a, how did I feel today, what was on my mind today, you know, just things like that. And it really helped, because first of all, I really see the progress. I can, you know, flip through the pages and just see day by day how much change there is in my thoughts, in my emotions, and in my mindset. And it just makes me so proud. It just makes me so proud to see that progress. And another thing is, it just really helps to make you feel much lighter when you write down your thoughts on paper, because it almost gives you that feeling like just taking the thoughts out of your head, putting it on paper, and then you can just sleep peacefully because it's not in your head anymore. Like, I try to think like that. That's how I try to view it, because I struggle a lot with sleeping sometimes, because my mind is just running. Like, my mind is just going crazy, just thinking about everything. And sometimes it's not even like important stuff. It's just the most random things, like, oh, I need to do laundry tomorrow, or, you know, things like that that really keep me up at night sometimes, or that really slow down the going to sleep process. So yeah, I think it really helps journaling. If you don't know where to start, just watch a few YouTube videos or something. But for me, I just started writing down how I feel and what was on my mind that day. So another person said exercising and by keeping yourself busy. I definitely think keeping yourself busy is definitely important. However, do kind of plan your self-care days and your days to yourself. So I would say I have quite a low social battery. I can feel very overwhelmed if I have like more than 2 social meetings, I guess. Social gatherings, that's the right word. If I have like more than 2 social gatherings in 1 week, I already feel so overwhelmed. And so I think it's so important to just find your balance. You know, not everyone is like that. If you can handle having like 5 social gatherings throughout the week and you still feel good, then that's great. But just try to find that balance for yourself and make sure to plan some me time, some time alone for yourself to, again, allow yourself to sit with your thoughts and feelings and just have a little bit of self-care. And self-care is not just face masks and hair masks and all of that stuff. Self-care is also just, like I said, journaling, praying, meditating, whatever it is that kind of grounds you and helps you sort out your thoughts and feelings and emotions. That is self-care. It's really just learning how to love yourself. Another one is making sure you don't isolate yourself, actually having a laugh with people. This is so important, and this is what's missing in my life because I work from home and I live by myself now. So I feel so isolated because I don't really have a reason to go outside, especially now in the winter times. I will work 9 to 5 from home, right? And by 5 p.m. the shops are closed, it's dark outside, it's cold, and there's just not really a reason for me to go outside. And because of that, I feel super isolated sometimes. So isolated because I'm literally at home all day, every day. Like this week, I barely left my home, and I made it a point to, you know, meet up with my friend this weekend just to get out of the house and get some fresh air and just have some real human contact again. But yeah, it is the reality of a lot of young people right now that work from home. And for me, because I have a lot of meetings as well, I tried going to like Starbucks or other local cafes to just sit and work there. But first of all, it gets really expensive to have breakfast, lunch, and coffee or whatever outside every day. And second of all, it gets quite noisy in those cafes, so it's just not great when you're trying to have meetings and focus. So I just end up working from home, and yeah, it can get really isolating. And I am sure that lots of other young adults who work from home can relate to that. For anxiety, I take ashwagandha pills. It really helped me. I never spoke to people in public. So I think she meant like she could never speak to people in public because of her anxiety, and the ashwagandha pills really helped her with her anxiety. And so these pills are like not vitamin pills. It's like, I'm not sure what the word is, but from what I understand, ashwagandha is a herb, so it's just like a natural supplement that you can take, and it's supposed to really help with anxiety. Let me actually Google it because I've heard a lot about that. I think I've seen it on both TikTok and Instagram. So ashwagandha is actually a plant. It helps to calm the brain, reduce swelling, lower blood pressure, and alter the immune system. It is used for many conditions related to stress, and they are believed to help the body resist physical and mental stress. So it is commonly used for stress, again, like I said, and also sleep. Oh, it's supposed to have powerful health benefits for fertility too. So it's just one of those natural supplements that has lots of benefits, but especially for stress, anxiety, and sleep. So I don't know, I might give it a try, but I'll be honest, since I got out of that toxic situation, my anxiety has been so much better. So that's also one reason why you really need to spend time with yourself, your thoughts, and your emotions, because you really need to think about what is the cause. Is there a cause to these mental health issues that I'm struggling with? Sometimes there is a direct cause, sometimes there's not. In my case, there was a direct cause, and then I had to take the steps necessary to get myself out of that situation and put my mental health first. And so I think it's so important, like I said again, to spend time with yourself and just kind of analyze your life almost. That sounds really crazy, but it's true, you know. Friendships, relationships, family bonds, work relationships, or, you know, work environments, I would say. There's a lot of things that can impact your mental health. And so just make sure you're aware of the relationships that you have in your life. So when I say relationships, I just mean relationships in general, relationships with people, as in romantic relationships, but also friendships, work relationships, family relationships, all types of relationships. The last one is moving my body every day, even if it's 20 minutes, a workout a day helps. 3 people said working out, so I guess this is a sign for me to exercise and, you know, move around a little bit more. But yeah, I think I definitely agree with all of these. My personal advice, journaling really helped me, therapy really helped me, and my faith, God really helped me through everything. So those 3 things were definitely key to my healing journey, to improving my mental health, and to dealing with anxiety and stress. Okay, so one more thing that I do want to share, which is more of a practical tip actually, or advice. When I'm really stressed about a situation, or when I'm really worried or just really anxious, I always try to ask myself, can I control this thing that I'm stressing about? If I can control it, then take that action and do something about it. If I can't control it, there's no reason stressing about it. It's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change the situation. I can't change the past. I can't, you know, do anything about the situation if it's out of my control. And so worrying and stressing about it, it's just not worth it, because it doesn't lead to anything. So just try to remind yourself of that when you're really stressed or overthinking something, that if you can't do anything about it, don't stress about it. If you can do anything about it, then again, you don't have to stress, because you can do something about it, and just take that action. And I know this is easier said than done, but for me, just telling myself that, it does help to calm myself down and just see things a little bit clearer sometimes. So that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think that this is a little bit different from what I usually do. I just wanted to do a little chit chat video, just a chill video with tea, and, you know, just talking about mental health and things like that, because I've been seeing a lot of things on social media around mental health, but I think it's so important to have a continuous conversation about mental health, and make sure to check in on those around you. If you notice that, you know, someone's being quiet or someone's acting weird or something like that, just ask if they're okay, how things are going in their life. And I hope that someone checks in on you too. If you don't have anyone that checks in on you, this is me asking you guys, are you okay? If there's something you guys want to talk about, leave a comment down below, and let's share some mental health advice in the comments down below as well. What is your favorite thing to do when you're feeling down? What lifts your spirits? What helps you cope with anxiety or depression or any other mental health struggles? Just share it in the comments down below, and let's help each other out. Let's go into the new year with a good and healthy mindset. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support that you guys have given me this year. I am so grateful. And I think this is gonna be my last video, because next week is actually Christmas, and the week after that is New Year's. I'm gonna spend Christmas and New Year's with my family, so I'm probably just gonna take a short break from YouTube, and then I will be back in the new year. So if this is my last video, there might be one more video, but I'm not sure. So in case this is my last video, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for your support this year. I really truly appreciate it. I know I haven't been the most consistent this year, and as we talked about in this video. There are several reasons why, but I'm definitely feeling recharged and ready to take my content to the next level for 2023. So thank you so much for your support. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to turn on the notification bell as well, so you'll know when I'll be back on YouTube. It's just for the Christmas break, to be honest, but I'll be back in January, and I'm looking forward to creating lots of great content again in the new year. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well, at Lillian's Egg Guy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. God bless. Have a happy holiday season and a happy New Year's. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.